Starship Troopers Terran Command is a real-time strategy game from the Aristocrats. It's based on the film and takes place shortly after the disastrous Planet K invasion as depicted in the movie, as the Terran Command decide to take over the neighbouring mining planet of Qualasha in order to build resources to eliminate the bugs.
Fire at will!
Attack fighter strike incoming. Stand back and enjoy the fireworks. They don't like to get their uniforms dirty, but those flyboys are pretty useful sometimes. Damn, a few bugs got away. Get after them before they reach the settlement.
Troopers, listen up! Sir.
For the start, this is not a sequel to the 2000 game Terran Ascendancy, which is a shame to be honest because I fucking loved that game and it was the main driver in me getting this game. However, whereas Terran Ascendancy gave you small squads of troopers with no bases, Terran Command follows more along the lines of Dawn of War, where you get given a base to roll out units and get given a series of tasks to complete each mission. These are mostly either escort a unit from A to B and or clear out all the bug nests. I'm going to start off with what's good about Terran Command. The tutorial mission is quite good at getting you to grips with the controls and moving your troopers about. The devs have nailed the film's tone and aesthetic perfectly and have captured some of the satirical undercurrent that was present in the movie. The pre-mission cinematics are delightfully campy. There are about 20 missions and some of them are quite long, so you do get a fair amount of content for your money. Graphically, it's not much to look at, even at a distance. The models of the soldiers and the bugs aren't detailed much and the animations are wonky at times. Not that you'll be focusing much on this. Your eyes will be on the action and the large scale battles are very impressive. The landscapes are quite barren and the underground sections are just tunnel after featureless tunnel for the most part.
Sir! Roger that.
Alert. Bug attack inbound.
Sir! Roger that! Sir! Yes, sir!
We've got a alert. Bug attack. Our war support has increased, sir. We've got a unit under attack. We've got a unit under attack.
The audio design is quite good, the voice acting is solid, the music is great and the weapon sound effects pack a nice punch, especially when the action ramps up. The writing fits the game perfectly and helps capture the bombastic idiocy of the films. Too bad there's not more of it, as the game is really light on storyline or narrative, which is a shame because it's the only area that the devs got right. Gameplay wise, Terran Command seems half done and poorly thought out. Your unit's combat effectiveness is dependent on line of sight, so having your troopers in formation is essential, but they can't move in formation. The instant you issue any kind of move order, they all break rank and beeline towards the destination, and if they have to go around the corner, yeah, that's all fucked. Your troopers will form practically a single line to go around it. This, combined with the inability to shoot while moving, means that any sort of enemy contact while moving is lethal, resulting in you crawling your way through the levels.
Awaiting orders.
Roger that. Command just radioed out an alert. Major bug movement to your east.
Okay, things are about to get interesting. Look sharp, people. Form a perimeter.
Sir! Yes, sir! Look sharp, troopers. Affirmative.
The human units are the usual collection of squishy troopers and an assemblage of different weapons. One thing you'll notice is that you've no units with virtually any durability. All it'll take is 2 or 3 bugs at close range and it's pretty much game over for that unit. This is an okay mechanic when you've got a chance at some distance. In the terribly designed urban levels and underground, almost all the combat is close range. There's also no real variety to the units. There's nothing that feels or acts unique, it's just the same trooper with a mildly different pea shooter. There's little to no variation in the bug designs either, they're basically just bullet sponges masquerading as difficulty levels. And then we get to the main issue with the game, which is that it's just horrendously piss poor AI. I don't expect a tremendous amount from RTS games, but the ability for the units to move from point A to point B without shitting themselves is something I like to take for granted. This is even more serious when combined with the previously mentioned line of sight issues. Units who can't directly see the unit targeted will simply just not respond. The sight of a full squad a few feet away from a bug that's chowing down on another unit and doing nothing will be a reoccurring nightmare in this game. You think, oh, I'll just use attack move. That'll solve the issue, right? Wrong. It makes it worse. If your units have different ranges, they'll often get left behind or go in the wrong direction altogether. Directing units in Terran Command is like herding cats with cooked spaghetti. There's a critical lack of balance in the units too. For the humans, only a handful of the special abilities have any appreciable effect. Most of them are a choice between a useless area effect or some damage boost, so you'll always end up picking that one the whole time. There's little balance to the bug enemies either, as each new unit just seems to be a different level of cheese, with the crown dick move of a unit being the scorpion bug. It's got an absurd range, can kill almost units in 2 or 3 hits, and can even take down marauders in 4 or 5. It never misses with its attack and has a ridiculous amount of armour. On levels where they decide to just spam these, you're in for a long slog.
Look sharp, troopers.
Essentially, the core of the gameplay is attrition, and that's just not fun most of the time. It's certainly not fun when you have to grind your way through 20 fucking missions with it. The case study in this is clearing out the bug nests. You clear them out by basically surrounding them and killing off the waves that pour out of them and the surrounding tunnels until the population is depleted, and then you can send the units in to close it down. It's so boring. In Terran Ascendancy, the issue was being able to get your squad close enough so that your nuke trooper could target the nest. Now, you're just standing around shooting and hoping you don't get overrun, and if you do, you have to redo the whole thing. To point out how poorly thought out Terran Command is, I'm going to list the things that appear in Terran Ascendancy, a game that is 22 fucking years old at time of this recording, that don't appear in this game. 1. A pause button. Yep, you can't pause the game here, opening the menu doesn't count. 2. Rotate the camera. 3. Move your units in formation. 4. Alter formations to different shapes and different unit layouts. 5. Issue waypoints and patrol routes to your units. 6. Properly coordinate unit abilities en masse rather than have to cycle through each squad. 7. Nuking bug holes. Seriously, this was one of the crowning weapons used in the film and in the game. Have any of the devs even watched the fucking movie? There's no nukes in this. 8. The ability to lay mines for defensive operations. 9. A proper unit leveling mechanic. 10. An overarching story and narrative. In conclusion, while it's got its good moments, Terran Command is in bad need of some huge quality of life adjustments. There's a really good game here, but it's so woefully rough and undercooked that it's got no chance of being any good. There are so many poor choices throughout the whole game. It seems like an incredibly rushed and poorly QA'd product, which, look, it's a pity. I wanted to like this game so much. If I were you, and if you like the look of this, I'd hold off until the next series of patches to see if the devs are paying attention, because they really weren't when they were putting this game together.
We've got a unit has been promoted, sir.